Hello everyone and welcome back to Crash Bandicoot Warp! I'm Drunken Dan. Last time, we beat up, Dr. TV Tropes and, did another one of those motorcycle missions that are just so much fun. And now... Okay, is that the level we're on now? Okay, what was this one? Okay, yeah, we're on this one. I remember now. I saw the boat and I was like, maybe I'll wait, because I might end up hating the boat more. Or, you know, something silly like that.
So, Crash Bandicoot, we meet again.
Yes!
Uka Uka and Dr. Cortex want me to teach you a lesson. Well, I made a few
Wow, that hair is really poorly modeled.
my mechanics since our last encounter. So back off or be deleted.
Seriously, that, did you see, like, the hair? Like, if you looked at it from the side, it was like, it wasn't attached to his head. It was just kind of floating there. That was really poorly done. Like, the other models in this game are really well done. So when I saw that, it kind of, I don't know, it kind of bugs me a little bit. Alright, so how do I control this thing again? Oh yeah, X button, I forgot. This is, like, from... Yeah, this is, like, early video games. So, like, X button was the accelerate in old, like, PS1 games. So, here's the funny thing about, like, when this game came out. So, controllers back then, I don't think they had the analog yet. I don't think. I'd have to check what year this game came out. It didn't have... I don't think it had analog controls. I'm going off of memory. Leave me alone. Please clap. Ooh! I almost got killed. So, you know, the controls aren't the best in the original one. I mean, it's acceptable, especially if you know, some of the problems of the time. Let's see if I can get all the crates without dying. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see how this would be annoying, though, like in, like a speed run. This isn't the best kind of, like... It controls like a boat, which is fair, but it's definitely not the most fun for a video game. Trying to be careful because I haven't seen a checkpoint box. Okay, was there any boxes around this way? Nah, nothing over here. There's this asshole. Motherfucker.obj. Bye! Hey, look, a, whatchamajig. I don't want to get hit by that asshole. Or any... No. I thought they would actually put one there just because of that guy. You know, the whole risk-reward thing. So, okay, how, like, for those of you who don't know what risk-reward means, because you probably heard people toss it out, so risk-reward is, so, like, a lot of times in a game, you probably notice, like, they might put, like, a bonus item or something in an area, and in a well-designed game, typically it'll be, like, something that the reward you get is either comparable, or you're rewarded more for doing it than if you didn't. And it has to be, like, comparable to the challenge you put in front of the player. So, for example, like, if you put, like... So, let's say there's, like, just, like, healing pickups, and healing pickups are fairly common. Putting, like, a really hard obstacle, like, say, like, enemies or traps, like, right where the player is going to be for something very simple or basic, like, say, like, a health pickup, or, like, say, like, in Sonic, like, the fucking, rings. That's kind of not going to be worth it to the player. But something that's a little less common or more desirable, like, say, like, a fire shield. Or, like, let's say there's a lot of areas where you can, like, avoid fire by getting this thing. There's more of a risk-reward, there's a better reward for your risk there, for whatever kind of, like, death trap might be there. It has to be, like, balanced within whatever you're expecting out of the player and what you're going to give them. And that's pretty much what risk-reward means in the simplest sense. Or at least in the best way I can explain it. I went to school for this shit. Game design's honestly really fun to talk about. In all honesty, I know probably some people might not feel the same way, but Extra Credits is a pretty good site for learning, for like just game design stuff. Like, their site's really good for like game design tips and shit. I wouldn't say they're perfect, but they're good. Like, really good. And I know a number of them work professionally in the industry. Take that how you will, like, however you feel about, you know, the game industry. I'm very mixed on it. I'm not, like, super negative or super positive. I'm just very mixed. Because I also know it is a business. And they're going to look at it as a business. I'm just going to go around this way and get the boxes. But, one thing that's kind of interesting, I might have mentioned this in a video before, speaking of, like, industry. The industry actually has very strict... So, what we consider genres aren't the same thing as what the industry considers a genre. So, for example, platformer is not considered a genre by the industry. Marketing term, yes. Platformers are just action games. A beat-em-up is also an action game. Metroidvania isn't a thing. I think it would be considered like an action-adventure game, I think. Or would it just be considered an action game? I think it might just be an action game. It just depends on the mechanics. Fighting game is a genre. It's actually like the... Now, of course, this might have changed, because the book... Because this was a couple years ago when I went to college for this shit. Fighting games were like one of the newer recognized industry... not industries. Genres. Like... I'm trying to remember what all of them were. Horror wasn't a genre. What all wasn't a genre, according to the industry? I'd have to actually, like, pull out my book, because I still have my, my books from college. This is kind of stuff you learn when you're... Oh, fuck, I gotta move away, or otherwise this guy's gonna punch me in the fucking face! So, that's me just telling you, like, the industry definition. Like, according to the industry definition, Smash Brothers isn't a fighting game. In my personal opinion, I'm a lot looser. I consider it a fighting game. Because I don't really like the idea of limiting video games. I've probably mentioned this before. Because when you start creating limits, you're more likely to stifle creativity. And less likely to innovate because you're going to be thinking within boxes and shit like that. And I kind of don't like that. Doesn't mean you... I mean, obviously, like, when you're developing a game, you want to write down documents on what you're doing, what direction you want to go, and all that kind of shit. But, like, let's say you come up with a mechanic that hasn't been done, or maybe it hasn't been done in your genre. Just fucking do it. Fuck boxes. Fuck thinking inside the box. Do whatever the fuck you think works. Hey, I got the gem. Nice. Actually, you know what? This level was pretty good for just casually bullshitting. But, like, it doesn't mean you have to like every game that comes out if it's not, like, say, your taste. Like, for example, like the walking simulator, quote. I wouldn't say I hate the genre. Because, like, I like Stanley Parable, and that would be considered a walking simulator. Quote. But, they're not always my cup of tea, because a lot of times I feel like the way they present their stories isn't very good. But, that doesn't mean that I don't think they should exist. Like, that's stupid. And sometimes you will find me accidentally, like, slipping into calling something not a video game. I usually do that to Shenmue as an insult. And honestly, I really shouldn't do that. Let's play Coco. Because, like I said, you shouldn't limit what games do and genres and all that stuff. You should accept, like, things to be open, so more development and innovation can happen. Also, one misconception people have is where they'll say being innovative is how you sell copies. That's not true at all. In fact, what people will call innovative is weird sometimes. So, I might get some flack for this, but... And also, by the way, innovative doesn't mean good or bad. It just means doing something new that inspired other games, or just, you know, just doing something like just brand new for the genre or the medium. Like, for example, SNK has done a lot for fighting games. A lot of innovations that you know of in fighting games got their start at, like, various SNK fighting games. I'm not getting all those apples. Fuck that noise. Can I kill this thing? Yes, I can. I also killed a couple apples while I was at it. But, So, like, Breath of the Wild gets considered innovative. It really isn't. It's a good game. I wouldn't call it, like, my game of the year that year. I thought it was really good. But like, it's got flaws in it. I don't think it's really anything unique or new or does anything that's terribly interesting. I mean, I think the world map is really good. The world map is excellent. It's got one of the better open world maps, where a lot of games have just really crappy open world maps. I don't mind the durability system for weapons. I do think that they break a little too quickly, like way too quickly. I think the side quests are really bad in the game because they offer you temporary rewards that you don't keep, and so it makes them kind of unrewarding to do. It's like, well, why should I do this extra fucking event that's harder for me when, you know, I can just not... Do I just jump on this thing? Yes, I do. Like, yeah, it's just kind of... There's no point in doing that. But, what was I saying? Fuck. I lost my train of thought because I was paying attention to the obstacles. Hey, I killed it. Oh, crap. Oh, yeah, but, like, one of the things I think is really, really bad in that game... So I mentioned I didn't really like the side quests in the game. I don't think they're that great. Mainly because the rewards are kind of bad. And sometimes they can be fun, like distractions. Though a lot of them are just kind of... A little mediocre. Some of them are good, though. There are some really good ones as well. But, like, because the way that this is... So, I know, like, some of the side quests, like the stuff involving the little inventor chick, are good, and, like, the dungeons, the little, like, mini dungeons give you extra items. But other than those... Oh, hoo-hoo! Other than those, like, the rewards are fairly just non-existent, because they're just weapons you'll lose. But, again, that doesn't mean the game's bad. This is just a criticism of the game. And, you know, it's fine to criticize things you like. I do it to Dragon Ball Z all the time. I don't stop criticizing Dragon Ball Z. And, if I had to say the biggest thing that's wrong with that game, if you wanted to, like, just get my full sense on something that I think is just objectively bad, is the voice acting. The voice acting's terrible. It's like, that, it kind of reminds me of that era of video games when was it? It was like that era in PS2 or PS1 when they were starting to try and do voice acting, like pretty much after like Metal Gear Solid 1, not 4. What am I talking about? And it's kind of. Hold on, I'm just paying attention to what's going on here on screen. And it's really bad. And don't blame the voice actors, please, for the love of God, don't do that. Because, like, what was it? One of the voice actresses in the game is the voice actress for Sai Nijima from Persona 5. And, in case you didn't know, in my opinion at least, Persona 5 has really good voice acting. I know they mispronounce some Japanese words here and there, but really not that big of... Oh, I fucked that up. That's really not that big of a deal. Like, mispronouncing a word. Mispronouncing a word's not the same as acting. You can make fun of them mispronouncing a word. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that until you're blue in the face. I wouldn't blame you. It's funny. But, like, it doesn't mean it's not the same as acting, because people mispronounce words all the time. And that's not to say, like, oh, they're acting to mispronounce. No, they just mispronounced the word, or their direction was different. I don't know what their direction was. They might have been directed in a specific way. Yeah, but, like, there's, like, the characters don't really emote. They just come off very flat. Oh, nope, I missed a fuckload of them. Oh, well. But, yeah, it's just, there's that. Actually, if I want to talk about something with the game real quick. So, I'm going to have a lot of controversial opinions and videos that come out today, because I was recording Dragon Ball earlier today, and I was talking about some game, like a little game thing involving Marvel vs. Capcom. But the one thing I would say about video games, you'll hear people say like graphic fidelity doesn't matter, or graphics don't matter. It's all about gameplay, and I do agree. Gameplay is really important, but visuals and art direction are one of the most important things about selling your game. mainly because of, well, what players see is what will draw them in. Marvel's Capcom has a fucking awful art style in Infinite. DBZ had a really good one. But if you want an example of this in some kind of weird, I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. So, oh boy. Alright, there's no good way to do this. Okay, let's just rip the bandage off. Or die horribly. So, oh boy. I'm gonna get flack for this. Hey, I did it! So, Cuphead. Cuphead is... Oh, I don't know. Okay. Just get the bandage off. Cuphead's not that good. Gameplay-wise. Also, actually, before... now that I've said that, I gotta explain myself. So... The problem with Cuphead is the gameplay honestly lacks. It's got a lot of design issues in terms of gameplay. It, like... Oh boy. Gameplay-wise, the design for, like, some of the bosses is really bad, where it's kind of way too random. And, like, sometimes, like, the tells on attacks are just really bad. The flying stages are just bad. The run and gun stages vary over the course of you playing one from mediocre to awful. They're just not good. Now, I'm going to be real quick. I'm going to tell you what it does really well. Okay. The regular bosses, like the non-run and gun ones, are okay overall. Some of them, they vary a little bit. But, okay. But, like, where the game really excels, this is where I think one of the things that the game did that was really good in terms of the extra content, is... Oh, fuck. So one of the parts of the extra content that they did really well was, I'm not telling you how to do it, but I really don't feel like solving the puzzle right now. So one of the things that they did really good was the parry levels. The parry stages are excellent. They are really well done. It's a really good training tool for the player. Teaches them the parry mechanic, even though the parry mechanic's kind of buggy from time to time. Where, like... There are times where the parry mechanic... How do you do this? I must be doing it wrong. Maybe I'm supposed to stand on top of it and spin? So there are times where the parry mechanic just kind of bugs out, where it doesn't know if it wants you to parry it. Fuck. I gotta run back up because I'll drown. And it's further back, so it's not like I can just... I couldn't slide. I hit the button, he just didn't want to slide. There's like a delay on the slide, like after spinning. Oh, I did it that time. I'm not sure what I did differently, but I did it. Well, this keeps my neck above water, at least. I don't care about those apples. But, so, you know what, I'd say, and, like, the run and gun stuff, the gun play itself is just fairly middle of the road. Not bad, not good. Well, it's not bad. I can't even say it's really, like, just average. It's just okay. Like, it controls well. It's fine. But, like, honestly, like, usually when people talk about the game, even myself when I'm complimenting it, it's never about how well of a designed game it is. It's always, this game is beautiful. Look at these visuals. It looks great. And it is. It's one of the best animated video games that I've ever played. There are very few things that come into contact with this game in terms of how well animated it is. Well, thank God I had the mask. Now I just have to not die. Easier said than done, right? But, yeah, it's just kind of the animation. Then if you want like another game that I don't think it bombed, but isn't nearly as popular, is Bleed. Like Bleed 2 is really, it came out the same year. It has definitely much better gameplay than Cuphead does. It's a lot more fun. The levels are better designed. The boss fights are more fun. Less reliant on randomization, have better tells for attacks. And it's just overall a better game. And you don't really hear people talk about it because honestly the art style isn't the prettiest. I like it personally. I mean, you saw me let's play it for Christ's sake. But like, definitely not the prettiest looking game. Ugh. No, I don't want to play with you. But yeah, I do think visuals are very important. In terms of graphic fidelity, you hear people probably say that a lot. So what graphic fidelity really is... Oh, that one actually stays up for a good while. So graphic fidelity is, I get getting distracted because I'm trying to pay attention when I'm doing the game. And I'm also, like, really far in, so I don't want to die. So graphic fidelity is, like, the balance between, frame rate, visuals, AI, textures. I don't have the thing in front of me to actually, like, look over it. So, whenever you hear someone like Total Biscuit or Jim Sterling complain about a game running at 30 FPS instead of... Oh my... No! Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck me, right? So when you hear about them complain about, like, a game not running at 60 FPS, it's kind of funny, because then you'll hear them say people don't care about graphic fidelity. There's a couple people that I like Jim Sterling, and they'll say that, and they really don't know what that fucking means. Sorry, I'm paying attention again. And it's just kind of annoying, because, like I said, graphic fidelity is like a whole balancing act between the things. I should one day just actually start doing scripted videos where I talk about some of this shit. Probably more popular than my Let's Plays. But, it's kind of like... Oh, I wanted to try and break the beetle real quick. Oh, well. And it's just kind of frustrating, because how the frame rate is a thing, and there could be reasons why they want to keep it at 30. Honestly, my whole thing is I'm more concerned about a steady frame rate than a... Oh, fuck. I got held up. I'm more concerned about, like, a steady frame rate than I am, like, a... What the... What was that? I'm not the only... You guys saw that, right? I'm not going crazy, am I? I mean, I might be. But I'm not. I don't think. But, And by the way, if you're, like, an elitist when it comes to FPS, that's fine. For me, if a game is designed with a steady FPS, I'm happy. I'd rather a game run at a steady frame rate than be at any specific number. Because, you know, I don't care as long as the game feels fine. Like, this game, apparently runs at 30. I mean, it records in 60, but apparently it runs in 30. I don't, but, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like I said, frame rate matters to me in the sense of I need a consistent frame rate if I'm going to enjoy your game. Finally got rid of that bug. Alright. And break that. Yep, I missed a couple because of that bonus stage. And yeah, that's what's just most important to me is just, you know, steady frame rate. I mean, I would rather, like, a fighter be at 60, but, like I said, it just depends on how the game is designed and developed. I mean, Ocarina of Time ran at, like, 24 frames a second or 25. It was a really low frame rate. I'm not saying make a game run at that, but, you know. 30, I feel like, is a good standard, especially if you're trying not to sacrifice a certain thing in your game. Because anything you put in a game does make a game run slower or faster, depending on how you manage it. Alright, let's fight this guy. Oh, apparently I'm Coco.
to go a few rounds? When this is over, we'll see who is obsolete.
Okay, sure, whatever. I'll just shoot you down. Bye. Dodging keeps you safe, but hard to aim. That's how every game works. Nice hint. Oh, I'm in a little spaceship. I mean, I have infinite ammo, so there's no reason for me not to aim. I mean, not just keep firing. I like these got crotch rockets. Oh, there goes one. The only thing you really gotta worry about dodging-wise is that machine gun right there. But it's really easy to telegraph. This isn't like a... This ain't no Tohu. This is a lot easier. I mean, for a kid's first bullet hell, I could see this being challenging if they didn't know what they were doing. I probably would have had more trouble with this as a kid. Okay, so you gotta shoot that thing. So it becomes a balancing act of when to fire at it. I'm not gonna lie, this is a cool robot design. I like it. Shooting on this side's gonna be harder. Okay. It's only vulnerable when it's pointed at you. It's kind of funny. Pretty easy boss, though. Yep, and dead. Boss fights are pretty easy in this game. Oh, it's got another form. Okay. That makes sense. Or just fly away. Oh! We have our own super... It's a penis. It's a fucking penis. I'm fighting him with a pink penis. I like how, like, basically what happened here is Coco... So, like, Coco fights at it with her basic ship. You know, no fancy trimmings on it. But, like... So you gotta keep dodging this thing, I think. I think you can't break it. You can't shoot those down. I think it actually disappeared, finally. Yeah, now it's just the easy part, because it's just the missiles. I can just shoot those down. It's kind of funny, though. Coco had, like, a stronger version of her ship. But she goes with the weaker one, and then this asshole's like, I got an even better robot! And then you're just like, fuck you, I can do the same thing. Except for it's got like a little tiger mouth on the back. Oh, nice, I got the gun. The, fire fruit at target, the fruit bazooka. Nice. It was a kind of a breather boss fight. Honestly, I think that should have been before Entropy. I still say that. If I was directing the game, I would have said put Entropy in first. I mean, after, Engine, not the other way around. Even the boss fight's easier. I think that's the only boss fight Coco gets. Hello?
How history repeats itself. Yet again, Engine has failed to defeat you.
What? For this we must destroy you.
Oh, my aching head. I'm not feeling myself these days. So the end is in sight. Gather another 5 crystals, and again you will have foiled my plan. Or will you?
I like how he's kind of just feels... I like how in this game, Cortex just feels kind of defeated the entire time. We're just like, oh, here we go again. It's kind of funny, actually. I mean, I'm going to edit in the true ending once I get to the final episode, which might actually be really fucking soon. Huh. I'm going to have to be considering a new LP. I went through, like, my joke LPs really quick. I don't really have a joke LP right now. I might just do some breather games, like do a couple runs of a fighting game or something. Then again, I'm Let's Playing a fighting game, so maybe not. Alright, guys. Hope you're enjoying Crash Bandicoot Warped. And I'll see you next time. Have a good day.